Hello, Lena. Tell me about yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm married and I have two children who I love very much. They're both girls. I talk about them all the time, and anytime I get into a conversation, as a matter of fact, it always ends up turning back to them. I work at a small school in Bonita, Arizona, where I love to help the children there. I work hard. I value integrity, and I work every single day to make myself better than I was the day before. I love to learn, and I love to inspire other people to want to learn.
Tell me about a challenge that you overcame.
Well, as you know, because we've met before, and I've told you, I have a child that has special needs. And with those special needs, she presents challenges to me every single day, and not ever the same one twice. An example of how I've had to overcome a challenge that she's presented me is in looking at the fact that she's had over 300 broken bones. And that fear and that anxiety that you get as a mother when your child is hurting and screaming, that never goes away. But something that I've learned how to do over the years is compartmentalize. I'm able to now shut my emotions in a little box so that I can splint and I can medicate and I can comfort and I can get my daughter where she needs to be, and I can save those emotions for later.
What do you see yourself doing 10 years from now?
Oh, well, in 10 years from now, I will be available to this school for anything that you should need me for. Ideally, I want to be the social studies teacher because I love history and I love sharing stories of people. However, if you need a substitute teacher and that is the best way that I can serve this school, I live right down the street, so would be an amazing resource that way.
What will you contribute to our school community?
Well, I see myself as a pretty happy person, and anywhere I go, the mood lightens a bit. So, as far as the atmosphere of the community goes, I'm sure that I can lighten it and I can help build a trusting relationship with anyone that I meet. So, I think that the best thing that I can add to the community is a sense of togetherness and trust.
Does your high school record accurately reflect your effort and ability?
I don't think that it did. I think that was a long time ago. And even though I got through with all A's and B's, it's impossible to show how much I did beyond just that letter grade. I was constantly in theater productions and choirs and extracurricular activities that can't be reflected on a high school record. So no, I don't think that letters on a page could accurately portray my effort in high school.
Why are you interested in our school?
Your school has such an amazing community, and the children that attend are beautiful. I love and relate to everyone who teaches at your school, and it is part of my own community, and I want to be a part of it.
What do you do for fun in your free time?
How long do you have? Just kidding. I do have a lot of hobbies, but I don't have a lot of free time. Even still, I always try to find time to do some of these things that I love. I do martial arts. I go camping. I am learning primitive skills and teaching them to my children. I sing, and I love to dance with my husband. I have a group of girls that I meet with twice a week, and every week I teach them something new. They have a set of values that I encouraged them to write down, and each week we pick one of those values to improve on.
If you could do one thing in high school differently, what would it be?
I would journal. I look back at my high school days and I remember a lot of good things, but when I look at my journal, all I see is the anguish of a teenager whose crush didn't talk to her, or whose mother said something bad to her. But I remember so many good things that are just slowly fading away, and I really wish I had written them down so that I could share them with my children.
Who in your life has most influenced you, and why?
The person in my life who has most influenced me that I can think of at this moment is my 8th grade teacher, Mr. Ground. He was a history teacher, and he made history come alive for me. And I know that sounds super cliche, but what I mean by that is that he took something that I had always viewed as shoving information in just long enough to be able to regurgitate it out onto a piece of paper for the test, and he turned it into real stories that happened to real people. Not only did they happen to real people, but they were real people who did amazing things. Amazing things that can be done again. Any person that I interact with, one of them could be the next person to create history, and it means something to me now. So the time that I had with him changed my life from that point on.
Tell me about your community service.
All right. As I said a moment ago, I do work with some young women. I teach them to be leaders. I help them learn how to plan activities, how to teach lessons, and how to be leaders themselves. By guiding the other young women in the group. Other things that I have done, I am constantly available for any of my neighbors that need assistance. I do live in a community that has a lot of older people, so sometimes they'll need meals, sometimes they'll need a gate closed, or their cows moved when they're out of town, so I do that kind of thing as well.